So, on today's episode of the Drop Everything Now podcast, recorded on September 7th, Steph and I are talking about all of the latest Taylor Swift news, updated opinions on Speak Now TV, the announcements of 1989 TV and the Air Store movie, and all of the current events that aren't like really about Taylor Swift, but we make them about her anyway. And as a PSA, we will be sending out a 1989 survey for our next episode very, very soon. So look out for that on social media. So if you're ready, it's time to drop everything now. Hello, everybody.
What's going on?
I'm Steph.
I'm also Steph.
And welcome to episode 27 of the Drop Everything Now podcast.
Yes, it's your golden podcast.
It's the best number, and it's really an exciting time to be alive. Also, my microphone keeps going in and out. I can see it. So if my audio just
it seems back, but it did do that. That's
back.
why I made a face for a second.
I know.
Yeah, it looks.
Yeah,
we both heard it. Yeah.
Anyway, so sorry if that happens. I'm just having some like really crazy technical difficulties today.
It's a crazy time.
I had a really crazy journey. I couldn't find my wire for this microphone, and it's a USB mini. Okay, they don't have it at Walgreens, whatever. So I go to Walmart, which like it's whatever. I'm looking. They have micro USBs, not mini USBs.
I honestly wouldn't, and I would have been so pissed off at myself because I would have probably bought a micro USB because I didn't realize there was a mini USB.
See, I learned so much because I needed a micro USB, and Ryan was like, oh, like over the summer, and we went. He's like, make sure you're getting micro and not mini. So I was like, oh, there's different kinds.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, that makes so much sense. A micro USB is pretty much like everything that you use for like anything else other than your
chargers.
iPhone.
Yeah, right.
Anything else other than your iPhone, like your speaker charger, portable charger, it all takes a micro USB.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's just like a very universal.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they had 1,000 micro USBs, and I'm literally dripping sweat in Walmart in my sweatpants and t-shirt because we were supposed to have already started this podcast, and I'm like running to Walmart. And I'm like, sir, he's working at the tech place in Walmart, like, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, sir, do you guys have a mini USB? And he's like, on his own. He's like, what? I've never heard of that. And I'm like,
see?
Can you like look up if you have mini USBs? He's like, I don't even know what a micro USB. I was like, I see it. And he's like, I don't know what any of that means, to be honest. And I'm like, well, can you look up if you have
Probably
it?
Not working in the right department.
He just was like, I don't know. And he literally like didn't get off of his phone. It wasn't like he was mean. He just genuinely had no idea what I was talking about.
How old was he?
Probably in his 20s, like around our age, I would say.
Yeah.
And I was like, why are you working in this department? Like, can't you just 100%. Go on your freaking computer and type in mini USB? So what I did is I went on Walmart.com and typed in mini USB, and they sell them. So I'm like, why couldn't this guy do that and be like, yeah, we sell them, but it's not going to be in the cell phone charger thing, because it was all locked up with all these different wires. I walked around the whole entire electronics department looking. I went to the HDMI section, and then I finally found one that has like every USB thing on it.
Oh, that's fun.
And it said mini. So I'm like, oh my God, this guy couldn't like Google it for me?
He probably shouldn't be working there, it seems.
I don't know. Yeah, just like if you're in the electronics department, they definitely have a lookup. Like, look up if you have it in the store.
You can look up like anything. You don't even have to be like the electronics department person to look something up. So like he easily, obviously, should have been able to look it up in the electronics department.
And then I did and then I was like, okay, but if you had one, it would be there. And he was like, yeah, it would be there. First of all, he was wrong. He just said that to yes me because he had no idea. Mm-hmm. But there are cables all like that was just like one section. It ended up being by actual other microphones, like all these like little USBs. So it must be a standard like microphone.
Oh, I guess
microphones must take mini USBs.
Huh.
Anyway, I'm here. I literally just got back. I'm sweating, but we're here.
We made it.
We're ready for the big 27, the best number ever. 27. But in more important news, you get married in about a week. How do you
feel? It's honestly so crazy that it's a little over a week away. At the hair place today, they said that I seem pretty like a relaxed bride, and I was like, okay, that's good.
Relaxed?
Honestly, for the wedding piece, yes, but it's been like a crazy work time. And I don't feel relaxed work-wise, but I don't really care about that much.
They're not helping you out and saying like, hey, girlie, we know you're working. You have a wedding next week. Let me take these items off of your list for you. Happy wedding
well, I
week.
mean, like most of them don't even know I'm getting married. But, I just...
Use it while you can.
And then also, I was going to tell like the people I support on Tuesday because I like go to their staff call. But the VP just canceled the meeting. So I was like, brilliant. I don't have to say anything. Because at first I was going to be like, well, I'm going to be out for like the next week and a half because I'm getting married. But then I was like, ooh, now I don't have to do that.
Oh my God. But yeah, but if you did do that, oh my God, there's like a hurricane outside right now. What? I swear to God, there's a twister. Trees are falling.
It's nice here.
Oh my God, it just got pitch black. I was just outside. We're having a heat wave. Anyway.
A heat wave?
Your hair looks amazing. I was going to say something.
Thank you so much.
It looks great.
We're ready. We're almost ready.
I've told everybody I know at work.
How's your speech?
Well, I did draft. I have actually about 4 pages. So here's my process. And I did the same thing with Jenny and Ben.
Okay.
Any thought that I had, I don't know if I'm going to bring it up or not. I just started writing. Any thought, anything. So I have pages and pages. And I'm like, oh, this would make sense if it goes into this, into this, into this, into this. So now I'm at like, I have a general structure of like how I want to start, what I'm like exactly
close enough
things I'm going to say and how I'm going to finish and whatever. But I don't have like it totally written out.
You got time.
No, because there's certain things that like I don't know and I can't ask you because I don't want to tell you, but I'm like, oh, I don't want to get this detail wrong.
You can ask Connor if you want. He might not know.
But what would that? No, because he wouldn't know. It's between me and you. It's not about me. It is about you. It is about I don't even want to tell you.
Okay.
I do, but like
I see.
I don't know. Like I want to ask you because I'm like, oh, it's funny because like I know I'm not getting it right because it's a memory that you told me about the two of you. But, like, I don't want to say the wrong thing.
Oh, well, I mean, I guess you can ask me that. No. But you have a lot of things you're writing down, so maybe you're not going to use it.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a lot of things I'm writing down.
Well, that's how you can justify asking me, I mean.
Okay. But anyway, so I am giving the speech just to give everybody in the loop. And I also am going to tell you, I don't know if I'm going to say this or not, but, like, I have to print it out. It will be word for word. Like, that's just how I roll. Yeah. I will be shaking uncontrollably. And no, like everybody's going to be like, is this girl okay? Like I might have to be like, guys, it's okay. Like I'm going to shake. It's the adrenaline. It's a physical reaction. Like I can't stop it.
Amazing.
Because I know it's going to happen.
I also, because I'm sure my dad will be the same. My dad literally called me yesterday and like at noon. And he was like, I wanted to ask you because I want to make sure I don't say anything like that, blah, 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 blah. And he was like, but do you think Steph would be okay if I made fun of her in my speech? And I was like, not me, Steph. And he was like, yeah. And he was like, Mom says she thinks you just giggle. And I was like, well, I'll tell you just so you're aware. He wants to talk about how much fun he had picking me up from Penn State and like how we'd talk on the way home and like, have like a nice conversations. And he was like, and then along the way we started driving Steph home, and then Steph had the conversation. Talk about how you talk a lot. Oh yeah. And I was like, I'm sure that's fine. And I thought he was gonna do the chicken thing. Yeah, I was like, that's not a story about me.
How is that gonna like connect?
I know. Well, and I thought he knew you were speaking. Because I was like, oh, are you like making a joke about how like get ready for the next one? This will be quicker. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, and then he was like, oh, I could. And then I was like, oh, you didn't. I thought that's where you were going with this. But I was like, do whatever you want.
So if he does go first, that would be funny.
He could.
How much I talked and then said, I hear she's giving the speach. So
yeah, so get ready. And he honestly might switch it up to that. Yeah.
That would be funny. No, I would not obviously care at all if he makes
That's what I said. I was like, she'll giggle. Oh my God. I'm excited. I think it's going to be funny. Connor said that yesterday too, because I was telling him how my dad called me to make sure it was okay to make fun of you. Yeah. And he was like, I'm excited for Steph's speech. He's like it's gonna be good, but like I feel like we're in for twists and turns. And I was like, I could see that. I was like, yeah, I don't know. We'll find out.
Twists and turns. That is so funny.
But
twists and turns. I hope I don't disappoint.
You're not gonna disappoint. It'll be great. You're gonna do great.
Thanks. But yeah, I'm so excited for your wedding. If you don't want to say, you don't have to, but just like for the listeners out there, are there any like TSwift things you're tying in, or do you want to wait?
Totes. We can actually maybe start. It'll get us into our first topic if we want.
Okay. By the way, guys, the main point of this episode, I was going to say, our 2 big ticket items are
the
1989 Taylor's version announcement. Plus the movie, because we haven't spoken since Speak Now, the day after Speak Now Taylor's version came out, because it's been a crazy busy summer.
It's been a wild summer.
So, but also some hot topics. I mean, what is it called? Current events. Anyway, continue.
Hot topics. Well, so the ceremony is going to lean heavy Swift. Like I'm going to walk out to that, the Enchanted instrument orchestra thing. I don't know. But you know what's funny about this? Like, I haven't cared enough to like tell the DJ start it here, end it here. I'm literally just gonna like just press play. When I get up there, you can stop it. Like no matter. And it sounds good at the beginning, so it'll be fine.
At the ceremony?
He's gonna have 3 stations. Like he'll have like speakers at the ceremony, cocktail, whatever.
Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, the DJ. And then I'm gonna have, because we're not doing a wedding party, but we're gonna have like the family walkout. And I'm gonna do it to Timeless.
Shut
yeah.
Oh my God. No way.
I was like thinking, I was like, Steph is gonna lose her goddamn mind if I don't warn her. And I was thinking I was gonna let that happen, but I'm glad I didn't.
Steph,
I know.
Oh my God.
I know. Well, I mean, I sobbed my eyes out. It feels like it had to happen,
It absolutely had to happen.
So I did a last minute pivot on my submissions to say, I'd rather do Timeless, please. I was going to do like the invisible, we talked about that, the invisible string instrumental, but I was like, no, I think I have to switch.
Oh my God. I'm so excited.
Wow. And Timeless. So I guess, should we dive in?
Yeah.
To
vaults.
Okay. Yeah. So first thing, we haven't spoken since Speak Now. So speaking of Timeless, just really quick, do you have any like different, we told you guys our reaction literally the morning after listening to them for only a couple times. Do you have any other like reaction? Like the Taylor Lautner, the music video with Taylor Lautner came out. That was amazing. So fun. It just gave us so much, but that's been out for a while. But yeah, any changes in like what you think of anything?
I guess not really. Like, it's weird. Well, first, I think I made this sort of like precursor before the last episode that like when we were listening on Spotify, it was before everyone was telling us the trick to like turn off whatever enabling something.
Yep.
So that, and then it did sound much closer to the original once I did that.
Right.
I don't really think I've had many changes in terms of like, oh, I didn't really like this vault song, but now I like it more than the rest. Like I just liked all of them.
Right.
So I think if anything, it's just like everything kind of stayed the same. I guess honestly, like I really like I Can See You, but I guess like it originally was just like, oh fuck, this song is so like my favorite. And now I guess I definitely would say like Timeless and Castles Crumbling are probably above it. But I don't have like any like, oh no, I don't like this one anymore.
Right.
I'll say though, I kind of stopped listening really quickly.
I know, me too. Remember I texted you, I was like, Steph, I need more like music to listen to. But I think that happened with, other than All Too Well 10 Minute, with like Red and with Fearless too, because it's not like a whole album. It's very quick to learn 6 songs and to just, and like the rest of the album, obviously we've heard a lot. So it's like, I still have it added to like my playlist, but yeah, it gets old quick when there's only 5 or 6 new songs.
Well, and I think it's one of those things too, especially with like the re-records, that it's like, and this is the opposite, I guess, of what it should be, but like I almost, when they announce it, I'm like, ooh, let me refresh myself on Speak Now.
I know. It's like,
so then I start listening to it. Yeah, exactly. And then once it comes out, I'm like, awesome. And then like after a few days, I'm like, okay, like now it's just going back to the normal. Ooh, I feel like listening to Speak Now today. Like,
right.
So,
right.
And I don't know if I thought maybe since I love Speak Now so much that I'd be different with it, but no, it was the same.
Yeah, I totally agree. I agree. Also, I will say my tops are like, I Can See You, Electric Touch, and Timeless, and Castles Crumbling. And then When Emma Falls in Love and Foolish One. Actually, When Emma Falls in Love is definitely last for me. Like, I don't.
That one fell a little for me too, actually, now that
Foolish
I think about
it. I like a little bit more just because I'm like, damn, I can really relate to that.
Yeah.
Like, but it's still, When Emma Falls in Love and Foolish One are also very similar, like, sounding almost. So they, I don't know. The other ones I think all have a distinct sound.
Yeah.
But yeah, but whatever. It's also funny because Taylor Swift just like ignores Speak Now and has just totally and completely moved on.
It was so
she put
quick.
her stuff back to Midnights. Like a week later, like 2 weeks later, like she
it's
literally
really confusing. And like it makes me like, I guess we'll see what she does with 1989. She's already put out more vinyls for 1989 than she did for Speak Now. But like, I guess I'm curious to see how long 1989 lasts, because it seemed like Red
lasted forever.
Was a long time.
But the only it was, but also Midnights wasn't out in the middle of that. So she keeps pulling back to Midnight stuff.
True.
Because it's still the most current album technically. So it will be a test. Is it?
Except when you think about it, Red came out only a year after Evermore, and 1989 is coming out a year after Midnights.
Yeah, that's so true.
So I don't know. I mean, maybe that's why Speak Now got shafted, because Fearless came out like 5 months after Evermore, because that's why we were saying Evermore got shit.
Maybe like.
But then did she switch back to Evermore after Fearless? I don't think she did.
Okay, here's my theory that I just thought of, and I'm sure somebody's thought of this. I think it is less to do with Taylor Swift caring about the albums and more so about the fans and like popular demand and like getting awards. Just hear me out for a second. So like for Red, that lasted forever. And she, the all too well 10-minute music video, she's now like this writer and director, and she used it. One, it was for the fans, but also two, it kind of like was this, I believe that was the start, maybe Folklore, but also Red was like the renaissance of Taylor Swift. Like every fans are coming out of the woodworks, starting with like Red Taylor's version. So whatever, that was that. It charted. Amazing. I feel like Speak Now, Taylor's version, is truly for the fans. And like, it's not that she's paying dust to it, which people say, which like, yeah, she is. But I think it's more so like, she's not trying to make it go commercially successful.
Yeah.
It's really like, hey, there's this intimate thing. I made this music video for the fans because I know that you guys love Taylor Lautner and want Taylor Lautner in this, and that's amazing. And that's like a fan thing, not a music video that's going to get video of the year or whatever it is, but there's so many Easter eggs. Like, it's all about for the fans. Whereas I feel like 1989 Taylor's version, she's gonna be like, hey, this won the Grammy once, this is gonna be more commercialized and a commercial success.
And that one's 1989 is interesting to me too, though, because it got so much praise when it came out.
Right.
Like, I think part of the Red push now was sort of probably a similar, like, okay, like I'm like, wow, I'm having a renaissance, and this album should have been more than it was. Maybe, or like, oh, I have new people that appreciate this lyricism that I'm doing.
Right.
And they missed the lyricism on Red or something, where it's like, maybe that was part of it. But like, it feels like 1989 had so much commercial success then. Yeah, so it's like, are we just redoing it?
Yeah.
Like, are we gonna, I don't know. It's weird.
You're right. It is. Because so did Fearless.
And the only thing I'd say different about Fearless was like, definitely got the acclaim, but she definitely was way less famous than when 1989 came out.
You're right.
So like, I don't know. because that's why I remember we were like, oh, because after the craze for Red, we were like, oh, since Fearless got praise and 1989 got praise, she's not going to go crazy for those, and she'll go crazy for Speak Now, similar to Red, because but then that didn't happen.
Yeah,
so I don't know what it seems like there's already more craze for 1989.
Yeah, I think she probably also just knew like Speak Now is not going to get critically acclaimed.
Yeah, I mean,
so I'm not going to push it, or maybe she thought Red would because it has some of the pop stuff. So it's like, because it doesn't have...
and I think too there's the country aspect to it. Like, I don't like Speak Now definitely is in more of her country element.
Yeah,
right. Ballads. So I don't know if that's part of it too. Like,
it's hard to push it commercially.
So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what 1989 does, though,
for
because
sure.
It already had so much that I don't. Because even Reputation, I'm excited about, because I'm like, oh, people kind of like dropped her after 1989. So I can't wait to see people hear Reputation and be like, holy shit.
Right. You're absolutely so right, because it's like, I don't know if is she going to get new fans because if you've heard of Taylor Swift and are not a Taylor Swift
1989
fan,
is
you've
what
heard
you
of
thought
1989.
about.
You think of Shake It Off, and Blank Space.
Yeah.
And
Style. Yeah.
Everybody knows those songs. So you're right. So it's not going to be this, oh my gosh, I heard 1989.
Wow, I can't believe I missed this. I can't believe it. Like with Red, it was like, how did this come out? Like, how was this 10 years ago? Like, this is crazy. Like, so I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
And you're right. I hope that happens with Reputation, because that's so true. But we'll get more into 1989. I guess.
I mean, should we just keep going with 1989?
Yeah, I guess actually
we're already there.
Let's talk about it. And then we'll go to our other little thing, whatever.
Yeah.
So she announced it. Obviously, we know at the show, I came out in all the blue stuff. I was up at like 2 a.m. watching, and then texted you, and then you woke up to watch it too.
Yeah.
So exciting. There are 5 vault tracks. Have there been 5 on every one?
I know there was more. Red had a ton. There's 6 on Speak Now.
If you take away Ronan, Better Man, Babe, All Too Well, 10 Minutes, were there just 5?
Message in a Bottle, Forever Winter,
The Very First
Night, Run, I can see you. I Bet You Think About Me.
Okay. Those might be 5. So maybe that was the 5. Maybe she's doing 5. Speak Now was 6 though.
Speak Now was 6 and Fearless was 6.
Oh, so only 5. Interesting. Well, first of all, when is it coming out? The 27th or the 28th? I just wrote the 28th because
I think it's the 27th.
It's the 27th. The 28th.
I think it is. Yeah.
Okay. So, me personally, I'm absolutely so excited. But in terms of re-records, this is probably my least favorite. I'm probably the least excited about this one, because it was never my number one favorite album. It's probably whatever, because I think we've talked about this before. When it first came out, it was a shock to us because it was all pop. So it took me like years to kind of like whatever. I'm so excited for it. But hearing Reputation and Taylor Swift debut, I think I'm more excited for. Now, with that being said, I am so excited for the vault tracks because she said, first of all, this is my most favorite re-record I've ever done because the 5 from the vault tracks are so insane. What does that mean?
I don't know, but I like totally believe it, because like think about her deluxe edition of it where we got You Are in Love, New Romantics, and Wonderland, and it was just like, what the fuck? Yeah, how were they not on there? So I'm sure there's plenty of that. Like,
okay,
but I don't know.
Yeah, because she's so I'm most excited for these vault tracks because she told us to be most excited for these vault tracks. Thus,
well, and I think too, like these vault tracks are definitely more exciting because obviously this is her, besides Reputation, the most mature album we're getting as a re-record. So like to me, it like actually, yeah, each vault track set has gotten better. And like, granted, I like a lot of the Speak Now vault tracks, maybe more comparable like with the Red vault tracks, but like I definitely Fearless is my least, besides Mr. Perfectly Fine. I like them, but whatever. And I really like Speak Now, and I really liked Red's vault tracks, but like they've just gotten better because she got better at writing. So like I feel like she's got crazy things in there that are just going to be really good. And like
also bops, because this is coming right before, this is her pop era. And now that I'm going to have a fresh new perspective of it, because the reason 1989 took me so long is because we were like, what in the pop hell is this?
I was going to say,
sorry, go ahead.
No, finish it.
I was just going to say, and now her pop songs from Reputation and Lover are my favorite songs of like all time. So
yeah, and like I love her Reputation and Midnights.
Yeah. And so now to kind of have that perspective, like, no, I like Pop Taylor. I think that these could be some of my favorite vault tracks.
That's also why, like, kind of maybe counter to what you said about 1989 being your least favorite, or you know, the one you're least excited about.
Yeah.
I'm almost the most excited, or like very excited about 1989 because of that. Because I had the initial letdown when I heard it for the first time, even though I listened to it a ton and then ended up liking it, like loving it. But like you said, it's not really one of my favorites. But now that I know, like, I 100% know what I'm getting with it, and I like the album. So like, I'm excited to have a release of the album again where I'm just excited and not disappointed. You know what I mean? True. Like, so I'm kind of like, I'm actually really excited for 1989 because I was like, wow, I feel like I didn't have the excitement of this album the first time. So I'm excited to have it now. And like Speak Now, obviously I loved it. So I was like pumped for the re-records, but not in the same way, I guess, for that 1989, because I think I have a new appreciation for it. So I'm excited to hear it again.
You're absolutely correct. Like, you're right. I'm definitely going to be more. And like I said, I guess it's more so like the songs themselves, but you're right. It's like a fresh new perspective. So I'm ready. I'm ready to be there, but
I can't wait.
What do you think of likelihood of Harry Styles being on one of the vault tracks?
So I'm curious. I almost wish that, okay, we get 5 new vault tracks, but maybe similar to Red, there's more, where like, you know how it would be like if they did a Style remix and Harry Styles was on the Style remix. Like that would honestly, I'd almost like that more than if he was on a vault track, because I would love for it to be like, oh yeah, they're singing the song that she wrote about him, clearly. And I get the vault tracks of just her. But obviously, if he's on one, I'm going to be pumped either way. Like, if it's not Style remix, it's fine.
It's been so circulated since the second she announced that she's re-recording the albums. Like, obviously, she's done it, or I'm sorry, seen it. But I think she actually probably would reach out to be like, this would be so, like, amazing. And we could get a #1 hit. Look at I Don't Want to Live Forever with Zayn, was Taylor Swift's most played song up until like a week ago, and Blank Space surpassed it. Mm-hmm. So you have that. It's also a brilliant song, but both of them, like, not that they need to be any more successful, but both of them together are like the it people right now. And most there's a lot of crossover between Taylor Swift and Harry Styles. With that being said,
no, keep going.
My cousin, when I was on vacation, my cousin, who's like a really, really big Harry Styles fan, is like, no, like, it's Harry Styles' like thing. Like, it's his thing with us that like he like he's never done a feature on anybody else's thing, and I don't think that he would break that for Taylor Swift. Like, he's just like known for like not featuring any other artists and not being a feature on any, like, he says no, like, it's a known thing in like the Harry Styles fandom. So like there could be truth to that, but I do think he would break it for Taylor Swift.
I was just gonna say, if there's one person in the universe you break that for, it's if Taylor Swift asks you to be on a song with her.
Right.
I feel what was I gonna say about it? And like, it's interesting when we were going through the re-records, because we had like with Fearless, you know, Mr. Perfectly Fine, and then like kind of like, well, R.I.P. Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner, but like, Sophie Turner kind of like like Love This, What a Bop. Like, it kind of like brought like the closure of that X trouble. And then with Speak Now, Taylor Lautner was in the music video. Like, there was all these things that were like, here's the closure of Taylor. We're all on good terms now of this ex. Yeah. Well, yeah, I was going to say there's other exes we have not done that with, Jake Gyllenhaal and John Mayer, but it would be fun if like the exes she's on good terms with are the ones that like, okay, here's 1989, here's Harry, because that's who this was about.
Yeah. And I feel like even him like reposting it on Instagram, like the song Taylor's version being like on repeat or something we'd be like, oh my God.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think maybe he'll give us something. Or just be like, oh, love this one, Taylor, and its style. Or maybe we'll get something like that versus an actual feature. But again, if you're going to break your no feature rule for anyone, it would be Taylor Swift. So
it would be
so crazy.
It would be so cool. And he's not on tour right now, right? So like
I don't know.
So imagine him like popping up at her tour. That would be like
so cool,
out of freaking control. But you know what we didn't talk about just regarding that? What is the plan? Like, here's the thing. I have a wedding in Massachusetts on October 28th.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So two things I was thinking. One, we can't, whatever. We just have to wait till a week later to even record a podcast about it once we or Ryan and I drive down Friday because we're Saturday at 4 p.m. to wherever to you because it's on the way, and we have a little sleepover Friday night, and like I leave Friday after work, so it because I can't take off, but then Friday night we just go in and maybe Ryan and Connor can bond at the wedding. So if we go to record the podcast. Or we have the boys join. Ryan would love to join.
Exactly. I was going to say they'll be fine. Either Ryan will join the podcast or they'll hang out together.
We'll watch the new Star Wars show.
There we go. Ahsoka? Right.
Yes, yeah. He's always like, this is the one Steph likes. And
it is the one I like.
He has a Star Wars tie. I'm like, you should wear your Star Wars tie to like their wedding. And then he's like, can you look up on Etsy if they have a Ahsoka tie? And I was like, a what? Like, I thought it was like a certain type of tie. And he's like, no, it's that Star Wars character Steph likes. Look up.
Oh my God, that is so cute.
There's not. There isn't one.
Oh, damn it.
Oh, that's why that Star Wars thing popped up in my Etsy because I searched it.
Yeah.
I didn't search that, but but he wanted to wear a Ahsoka tie.
I love that so much. I would be incredible.
But yeah, so that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that works for me. I don't think we have anything going on.
Amazing.
Well, shouldn't be far.
I'll talk with Ryan about it and we'll go from there because I was also gonna, this isn't off the podcast conversation, but that is cool if we do that. So I'm just really excited for the vault tracks. And I think you're right though about like the new perspective, like we won't have the bad taste in our mouths of like Pop Taylor. So maybe this will just set the album even higher.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, I feel like it's almost like I was so excited for this album when it first came out. And then I was a little bit disappointed, even though we listened to it all the time. But like now it's like, I won't have that disappointment after the excitement. It'll just be the excitement.
Yeah. Wow. Great times. And
can't wait.
Everything's blue. Did you order any of the vinyls?
I did. Well, I'm a little upset with myself because I missed the Speak Now vinyl.
Oh.
So when the 1989 one was launched, I bought it immediately. And then they're doing all the pastels now.
Oh, it's so pretty.
And I love the yellow. They just put out the pink. And I was like, God damn it. Like, I shouldn't have bought the normal one.
Now.
But the normal one's pretty too.
It's so pretty. But also think of it this way. Like, light blue is 1989. Like, pink, you kind of have Lover. Like, yellow is kind of Fearless.
Good point.
It's like Debut. So, like, the blue is, like, truly 1989.
Yeah,
but
that's
also, true. I saw somebody say, like, look in the fine print. It doesn't say limited edition. It says special edition. So it might be the same thing as Midnight's, where you could still get all those Midnight's variants, like for face value.
Oh,
so it's limited while supplies last on the website, but that doesn't mean after the drop. Like, this is just maybe a money grab that maybe they're still going to be put out in stores.
Yeah, I guess my only thing is, like, I justified buying 4 Midnight's vinyls because it had a clock on the back. Like, I don't know how I justify buying a bunch of 1989 ones if it's like just the same thing, just a different color. You know what I mean?
I would like the pink one, but I'm going to wait. And if it's gone, then I'll take the blue for the same reason that I just said, which is like, it is truly the blue album. Like, it's blue. So yeah.
But yeah, I'm really excited.
Yeah. So that's that. Big news with that. But should we go into like the small topics before we get into the
other big news? Yeah, let's do the small stuff.
Okay. So just a couple current events. So first of all, I want to talk about Scooter Braun.
So crazy.
Everybody, did we ever find out? Like, it's been a couple weeks and like I still don't think there's any.
No.
They must have signed NDAs getting out of that. It must have been
I guess. But like I also don't even know if it's like maybe it's nothing that crazy. I shouldn't say nothing that crazy, but like it might just be like
he doesn't want to be a manager anymore and wants to move on.
And I think I saw something like from maybe it was obviously it's all rumors because we do not know what's going on. But I think I saw something like where it's like most music managers, you don't know they exist because they're meant to be promoting the artists, but like Scooter likes to make things about himself as well. So it might just be some sort of thing where like artists are like, you know what, I'm sick of it. But I feel like too many people drop so quickly that there's some other thing that's going to come out at some point.
Yeah. So the headline
is the catalyst that they all dropped. Yes. I'm sure they were all kind of feeling maybe that way about him, but like, I'm sure there's something else that was like, okay, no, the time is now.
Right. Two thoughts. One, just like the headline in case anyone didn't know, is that obviously like Ariana Grande, Demi Lovato, Justin Bieber, maybe, I don't know how much it's been confirmed, but I've seen back and forth, but then Carly Rae Jepsen and a couple others just all dropped Scooter Braun as their manager. Now, to your point of it seems like something else. I totally agree. I think that Ariana Grande has always hated Scooter Braun. Like there's this song that people are talking about. I forget. It's called like Jason's song. It's called something. But if you look at the lyrics, it's like very obviously about like her management and like holding her back and doing this. And then obviously Ariana Grande, like a lot of people don't like her right now because of SpongeBob. And but kind of that went away, and now she has just started re-releasing her first album, or she did just re-release her first album. She re-recorded it, and she talked about it, and then she did live renditions of it.
How was she able to do that so quickly?
Maybe I don't know if that has anything to do with Scooter Braun though. Like, because it seems it was the week after, but maybe that's what the contract was. Hey, you can't re-release this because if you want it for yourself until that. But she's like, oh, it's the 10-year anniversary of blah, blah, blah. And anyway, so it made headlines, especially in Swiftie headlines, because one of the things that she said was about very subliminally that kind of that she hates Scooter Braun, but ultimately she just said like if she could tell anything to her younger self, it would ultimately be to like say no when you want to. Don't let people push you to do things that you don't want to do. If you are tired, don't make people let you like run on an empty battery and do all of these things for money and all of this stuff. And it just seemed like very obviously about her management with Scooter Braun, because it's like, so I get the vibe that, well, one, Ariana never liked him, but two, she's not bad mouthing him and nobody's released any sort of statement about it.
Right.
So I feel like there has to be an NDA because we know that he wanted the people to sign an NDA regarding Taylor Swift stuff. So
yeah, that's true. And I did see that she also said she wants to start her own like management company or music label or something. No, Ariana Grande, but that she wants to she's like wants it to be like the Taylor Swift model.
Oh,
or like not explicitly saying Taylor Swift, but I guess the way she was explaining it, it was like very much the way Taylor Swift has gone about this recent like contract or whatever.
Did you see all the like the speculation that like Taylor Swift's opening her own record company and she's taking or her own whatever it is called company and is taking Justin Bieber and Ariana Grande?
No, but that would be so funny. She would never take Justin Bieber though.
Because the song Karma is like Karma is my boyfriend, Justin Bieber, Karma is a god, Ariana Grande.
Got it. Yeah.
And then there's a couple other lyrics that are like
Ariana Grande and Justin Bieber songs.
That would be fucking funny.
And then it's like Carmen takes all my friends to the summit. They're like, it's going to be called Summit Entertainment or like something like that, which I don't know. I never buy into any theory until it's like in front of our face. But if that were true, that would be like
the only thing that like obviously I would say it isn't is like we know her feelings about Justin Bieber.
I know, but
so it would seem like she wouldn't, but that would be so sick if that's what she ended up doing.
To like smack him in the face, like that was your number one, not even your number one client, but like you guys were like family, and now he's in the hands of your enemy, and I don't know. I just think that would be wild, and I just am so happy to see everybody hating on Scooter Braun, because it used to be like Justin Bieber and Ariana Grande and Demi Lovato versus Taylor Swift. But now everybody's kind of
teams.
There are no teams. It's like, wow,
exactly.
It's amazing. And by the way, I just needed to say this. I've said it before. I'm going to say it again. Stan Twitter is like the worst place on the internet and in the entire world. Fans are crazy. And I mean, Taylor Swift, I mean, Ariana Grande.
All of them.
Beyonce. Under every post of any other celebrity, like people are just like saying outlandish things that are just like, shut up. Like right now with the Renaissance tour, and which is Beyonce is a queen and is amazing. And they have 2 wildly successful tours. And every single post I see on Twitter is like Diana Ross sings happy birthday to Beyonce. Taylor Swift could never. And it's like, okay.
No, it's just, it's so weird. It's really just like, you rarely see, like whenever I see a tweet like, oh, Beyonce's about to surpass Taylor Swift's like Eras tour or whatever. I'm just like, great. Can't wait to see what the replies are in here. Like, it's just going to be either attacking Beyonce or attacking Taylor Swift. Like, it's just going to be awful.
These Stan accounts, they need to be stopped.
They're awful.
They need to be stopped. Enough is enough. Just, I don't know. It really like bothers me, but I'm literally scrolling through every single comment, reading everything.
Just be normal.
Just stop. Yeah, just be normal. Stop comparing them. Like everybody makes good music. Doesn't matter if you like it or not. But
I know.
Anyway, I really hope that we find out what's going on with Scooter Braun at some point in time.
Me too.
I've got to know.
It just feels like unless he just signed all those people to contracts that got like that were up around the same time, it just feels like too much.
Yeah, but not only,
you know what I mean,
to not re-sign with him. Like, why do none of them?
No, I know, but like maybe the management, like the thing where people were saying like, oh, he's like not a behind the scenes guy. He wants to be in the mix. Like maybe if you realize that after a couple years and your contract's coming up, you'd be like, all right, I need to move on from this. I don't want this anymore. But like they all couldn't be up at the same time and decide for that reason. So it's just very interesting. We'll see.
Yeah, hopefully we'll say.
I know.
What we say. Oh, also the most hilarious part of it is Jack Antonoff posting it on his Instagram story, and it's like, hold on, honey, I got to figure out why all these people just dropped Scooter Braun. And it's like, whatever the meme was, Jack Antonoff posting that? Are you kidding me?
So funny. Unbelievable.
What?
Everybody's getting in the mix.
That is like, well, you know, I would love to be a fly on the wall of their text or in-person conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what? It's amazing. So hopefully one day we'll figure it out, but who knows? But with that being said, I think the last like news thing that we have to talk about before we get into the movie, unless you have anything else, is just in general. Well, one, Taylor Swift breaking 100 million monthly listeners. So she's like number 2 in the world now, behind, is it Bad Bunny or somebody like that? Oh, The Weeknd. The Weeknd is number 1.
The Weeknd, yep.
And like The Weeknd actually posted congratulating Taylor Swift. She's obviously the first female. And that just kind of goes into like, we know Taylor Swift is super famous, and the Eras tour and Midnights has set her to another level of, she is like the most famous person in the world right now, if not in the top 3 of the most famous singers, I should say, not famous people in the world, but, ever, but I just mean that are alive right now. It is wild to me. So obviously the whole LBI scandal happened, where she went to Jack Antonoff's wedding, and spoiler, I was there coincidentally. Coincidentally, I did not stalk her. I was going on vacation. I did find out the day before and I was super excited, but I did not wait outside of anywhere for her because in my head, not even just everybody being trashed on social media. Like I got there Saturday, she was already spotted at the Black Whale on Friday. So Saturday when I got there, it's like, well, what am I going to do? Stand outside for hours in a giant crowd to like maybe see like her hair, like standing over people for 2 seconds? What's going to happen? Is she going to jump out and be like,
yeah,
"Ooh, girl there, you look like you want to be my friend. Let's go." I'll sing you a song. Like what's the point? What's going to happen? So I didn't, but I was in LBI. I did go to Bird and Betty's, which is right next door, hours before. It was a cool setup. I saw all the security, like blah, blah, blah. But I was happily in my rental house playing games and drinking wine.
Yeah, it's just honestly sad.
Yeah, it's sad. But
I know she already like obviously can't go anywhere, but like every time she goes out these days, it's like reaffirming that fact. And also in Miss Americana, she explicitly said how sad she gets by these types of things. And then what does everybody do? Just swarm.
Because it wasn't really, there was maybe a few fans there that were trying to like defend themselves, but there weren't really, it was just like random people that happened to be there. But what's crazy to me about her fame is how famous she is. There were so many other A-list celebrities there, and there was not one headline.
Nobody cared.
Except that Channing Tatum was there, and only because he was standing right next to Taylor Swift.
Yeah, and like even that second, I guess when they were leaving the wedding, people were like, are we not even going to address that she's walking out with Zoe Kravitz and whoever else? Like nobody gave a shit.
That is crazy. And it wasn't just like your our generation. Like there was Andie MacDowell, and there was a lot of older generation really famous people there, and that I understand it because she gives so much up and she's seemingly accessible because of the tour and the this and the that. And I don't think movie stars get the same level of craze as singers because that's a personal thing where actors are
playing a character. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's still, I was like, wait a second. How is nobody talking about anybody else that's there? And also, it made me so sad that it was her best friend's wedding.
I know.
And she probably had the conversation of like, well, you know, if I come, it could be like a media storm and I don't want that to happen. Because really, even though there were like the argument would be like, oh, there are other A-list celebs going. It's not just you. If that was her.
You wouldn't have even known Jack was getting married if she wasn't going.
Exactly.
So I feel really bad. It just kind of sucks, it seems. Well, it also just sucks because it was a wedding of all things. So it's like, okay, attention is totally not on the bride and groom anymore. And I guess, you know.
Yeah.
And she gave like a 15-minute speech or something.
Yeah. And
so long.
She said, oh, shoot, she had some sort of.
Something about roasting him like a brother or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, but it was funny when I read
it was, I think it was like, she's like, I think it was like, I always promote things that you do with other people, but you never promote anything about me or something like that.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. It was something funny like that. And then Lana Del Rey sang the song, I think it's called Margaret, which is literally written about her. So like about their relationship, which is super sweet. Because I think those are his really two cute. Like main galleys.
That's adorable.
But yeah, I'm super happy for them. But that was just like a crazy, crazy, crazy thing.
It was crazy.
And her fame just continues to like blow me away, but I'm also like getting to the point where I'm like, all right,
everybody chill.
Stop being
let's go back to let's go back to just us.
Yeah.
Also the crazy thing about the monthly listeners, like the 100 million monthly listeners, is that she was not even on Spotify.
I know.
For years.
And somehow Blank Space is her top one, and that was the album that wasn't on Spotify originally.
Right. Crazy.
It is. It's so crazy. But she does also have a lot of music, but it's
nuts.
Yeah.
All of it.
Everything that woman touches right now is gold. And
I'm just so afraid. Like, I'm so afraid the same thing that happened in 1989 is going to happen. But like, you know, with like the overexposure type of thing. But
and then that turned into Reputation where people,
well, like, and people turned on her because she was around, like, out too much. But like at the same time, like, it doesn't feel the same this time, I guess. Like,
no,
it's just, she's just touring.
she's also
it's just literally people posting pictures, videos of her singing on a stage. Like, it's not like it's like, oh, I'm at this event with these people. I'm at this event with these A-listers. Like, I don't know. She's just touring, and it's just insane.
It's insane. And also, I want to say, speaking of, Cornelia Street and King of My Heart like tore my heart out into 1,000 million pieces. But the King of My Heart, she did on piano, which I thought she would have done on guitar because she's done it on guitar before at that engagement party. On piano is the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. And now I'm like, oh my God, note change at the end after the bridge. But really, I didn't realize that's the background vocals in the actual song. And I'm like, oh, it's, oh my God, it's just so beautiful and amazing. And like, I'm so sad about
yeah,
Joe.
that was, yeah.
And also, okay, last thing, and then let's talk about the movie, unless you want to. Okay, so obviously Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner are getting divorced, and like I'm Team Sophie. I don't know what's going on
100%.
in the media, but Joe Jonas
seems
like
so sketchy.
Seems like he's like trying to slander her name, and like enough is enough. And even if she cheated, which like maybe she did, it's who knows. He's painting her out to be a bad mother, and like even if she is a bad mother, don't do that. Have you learned nothing from the Kardashians and life that like don't speak ill publicly about your kid's parent?
Well, and also like it's weird because then she put out like a joint statement on her Instagram today, and it was just like, this is so confusing because it seems like she's still trying to, you know, play it straight, but there was already so much crap that seemed to be put out about her.
Oh my God.
In the days leading up that it was just like, what the frick?
Now Mr. Perfectly Fine is going to hit so different because like he literally is acting like casually cruel. He's being casually cruel.
Well, I was going to say, I saw someone say like, can you imagine being Sophie Turner right now and actually knowing like Taylor Swift wrote songs about an ex that is now your ex, and you can really just like sit with those songs and be like, forever. You said forever and always. Mm-hmm. And also, so the reason I brought it up is because somebody also wrote like, now two separate Joes have ruined Invisible String because of the line like, now I send their babies presents. So it's like, damn, the Joes have got to go. And they were our biggest. We loved the Joes.
Loved the Joes. And now it's like, we hate the Joes. It's just weird there. It's a shame, and it's really shocking.
I know.
It's shocking. Everything's shocking. But that's the last like piece of information, like Scooter Braun, Joe Jonas, that doesn't have to do with Taylor Swift, that we just made about Taylor Swift. That's been in the recent news, you know?
Well, Scooter Braun one's really relevant to Taylor Swift. Oh, yeah,
for sure.
Even if she's not directly related to it.
Yeah. But, okay. Are you ready to get into the freshest piece of big news about Taylor Swift, which of course, we all know the Eras Tour is a movie. It's coming to the theaters October 13th. And Taylor Swift announced this like a week ago, I believe. And it is out of control already.
Unbelievable.
And question, did you get tickets yet?
Yes.
For when?
So it's funny, I'm going twice.
Me too.
I'm going with, well, at that point, there'll be my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law. The 14th.
Oh my God, me too.
You're kidding. Yes. And then I'm going with my friend Courtney the Thursday after, the 19th.
Yes, I'm going the Saturday with me and my friends, Alyssa, Jenny, Justine, and Alex. We're having like girls' day. And then again, the following Friday in Jersey City with like my boyfriend's going to come and my cousins and her.
Amazing.
Like Bridget and Jake, me and Ryan, and then maybe Deirdre, Kathleen. So we're going, so twice. But I thought of this and then I made a TikTok about it. And then once I made a TikTok about it, a lot of other people were thinking it too. So it's controversial. We have more understanding. I've seen so many things, but the theater etiquette of it, because Taylor said herself in her caption,
I wish she didn't say that.
Dress up, trade the bracelets, singing and dancing are encouraged. First of all, I'm going to make bracelets. We didn't do bracelets at our tour.
We didn't.
I don't know why, we just didn't. So I
my group chat now with like me and my friends that are going is beads, because we're like, we have to make beads. Like that's the one thing I want to do. And dress up. I will be in a Taylor Swift sweatshirt.
Yes, me too.
Pajama pants. Like I want to, let's have a big PJ party. And so my initial thought, I didn't see her caption. I just was like, oh, we're going to the movie. And then it hit me. I'm like, wait, are people going to be standing up and screaming? Like, because what do my friends who aren't as big fans, like what's going on?
I know. And like, I really hope that there's no standing or like screeching, because especially, and this is what sucks, because I'm going with my like family the day after it opens, which is like more prone to the nasty like craziness.
Yeah.
They've never seen it.
I know.
Like they never went to the Eras tour. So I'm like, this is going to kind of ruin it if they have to stand for like 3 hours because everybody else is and they can't hear. No. So I'm like, this kind of like, I hope it's not as bad as I'm afraid it is going to be.
Did you read the comments of the TikTok that I posted about it?
I saw multiple. It was a mixed bag, it seemed.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag for sure. Mine, on my thing, it was more like, no, we're going crazy. We're going crazy. We're going crazy. People are saying the opposite. This is my Eras tour because I didn't get to go, which, by the way, is why Taylor Swift's doing it. And I think it's so brilliant to have a community experience as opposed to just watching it in your house. So people are singing along. And I get that. I totally get that. But not the standing and the dancing. Like, you can literally dance in your seat. Like,
agreed.
Hand dancing is possible. I can do it.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree.
And singing, of course you're going to sing along.
Fine. Yes. Love it. Yeah.
I'm so excited to like hear her vocals, to not have ringing in my ear like we did at the concert, to see parts that we didn't get to because of where we were located, like to see details that we didn't get to.
Yes, like the stage. Yeah, 100%.
And I don't want to stand for, she's not there. I don't want to stand up for 3 hours.
No.
And so many people are saying that they are standing there like, oh, well, you could wait till it's out on streaming. And again, I get it. Like opening weekend, I do get that's going to be crazier. But I just think there needs to be a little bit more consideration for the people that are going to sit, especially like I'm going to a recliner theater. Like it has very comfy seats. It's going to be kind of hard to get up and down. And it was hard enough for people to stand through the 3-hour concert as it was. You know what I mean?
Like, yeah. I hope people are just like saying it because they're excited. And then like once you're presented with it, it's like, okay, most people are sitting. I'm not going to be the asshole that stands. I just like,
unless you're in the back row, like go.
Yeah, fine. Go nuts. Back row.
I got the second row, so I'm hoping I'm okay.
Oh, the second row, like to the front?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where we got the tickets. I didn't get either set. I know. I just like, I'm really like nervous about it because I'm like, well, I want the people that never saw it to enjoy it, but like not at the detriment to others. But also like the people that never seen it probably like, yeah, they're going to be singing, but like they're going to want to watch it.
I know.
Instead of just like standing in a movie theater and like, I don't know. It just throws me off. And like, what is the movie theater going to do? Shut the fuck up? There's other movies playing? I
saw this TikTok and this girl called all the local theaters that are showing it. So she called AMC, Cinemark, Fandango, like whatever. And all of them said like, no, we don't have, because I thought, are they going to be warned about this weekend and say like, hey, don't show other movies?
Yeah.
You're going to be able to hear it. And as far as they are concerned, no, there's no protocol. That they said pretty much if everybody's going to be dancing, we're not going to tell people to sit, but if it seems like only a couple people are and the rest of the theater sitting and then they complain, we're going to ask you to sit.
Interesting.
So basically it's going to be the vibe of each theater.
Right.
But again, maybe they're going to be more prepped for it, like leading up to the weekend. Because it just feels like, yes, I know that there have been movie concerts before for like One Direction and Justin Bieber and Hannah Montana and the Jonas Brothers. Yeah. And I've been to half of those. I don't remember actually singing along at the Hannah Montana or Jonas Brothers, but whatever. But I don't think people understand the level of like, I don't think the theaters understand the level of screaming. This is not a concert movie. And you can hear bombs go off from other movies in a theater if you're at a quiet part in your movie. It's going to be nonstop chaos if you're watching
Whatever.
Yeah.
Movie.
No, I think the screaming is honestly what will upset me the most. Because I mean, the standing is one thing, and I hope it's one of those things where like people act like they're going to stand, but like in the reality, you're going to be sitting through a 3-hour movie. Like, just sit down. The screaming is going to annoy me because then you can't even hear it. Like, it's one thing if you're singing along, but like if people are screeching like that girl did at our concert in a movie theater, I'm going to be like, this is so dumb. I'm going to go home and watch it on streaming when it comes out.
I really hope that's not the case. I've seen so many people say like singing, not screaming, but I have seen a lot of people also being like, I'm going feral, like, and being like kind of nasty about it. And it's like, literally Taylor Swift's not there. Also, do you think people are going to clap at the end of every song?
I would hope not.
I know. I'm just like so curious, but I'm also I am so excited. I think it's going to be great no matter what.
No, I can't wait. And the reason I the reason I didn't want to wait for streaming is because I'm afraid it's not going to go to streaming.
I know, because it's supposed to be for 13 weeks and it will then be up for negotiation for streaming.
Oh, gotcha.
I don't know that she's going to do it right away after 13 weeks because I feel like part of it is the fact that it's only in the US because the US leg tour for the first one is over. So it's for those fans that never got tickets. Yes, I know she's coming back to the US next year, but still. So I feel like the international, she's not going to release it on streaming where international people and fans can get a hold of it because they haven't gone to the tour yet. So it's more like, oh, once that leg is over, then she'll release it, or
right. Or it's something about the, well, I think the last point we have on here is part of the reason for the no international too. Like, I don't know what kind of movie theaters are out there because she went directly to the theaters to distribute the tickets. So like, I don't know, maybe it's not AMC. So like,
that's a good point.
Maybe she has to figure that out before she can but I agree with your point too. Like, if it's good, if part of the reason is because she needs to negotiate with the international theaters, it equally makes sense that the reason would also be that she has not gone international yet. So she doesn't want it out before. I don't know.
But also, I read this whole thread on what a power move it was for Taylor Swift, and her father, I think, called like the CEO of AMC and was just like, they didn't like the deal that the theaters gave. So there's so many layers. There's so many layers to this. So first of all, I don't think she liked the deals that the whatever movie people,
the production. Yeah.
So they're like, all right, it's going to take us $10 to $20 million to do this thing. Then they cut a deal with AMC directly, which doesn't really ever happen. So first of all, they are kicking themselves and apparently are all pissed off that they did.
They're really mad.
Like, Taylor Swift knows her worth. Literally, right now in pre-sale, I Googled it before because at first I saw 23 million. It's at 70 million. That is more than the Avengers Endgame, which I believe holds the record for pre-sale tickets. Marvel is the only thing that's going to get crazy pre-sale. Taylor Swift, a concert movie, has beat that. It's already outsold, or is about to. The highest grossing movie concert was Justin Bieber's Never Say Never at 73 million total, and she's at 70 million in pre-sale.
Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy how, that's what I mean. Like, her fame, like, I understand, but I don't understand. Like,
no.
It is wild that everything she touches just goes to gold.
Yeah.
That layer is just like, oh my gosh. But then not only that, but then it's like, what a great person. Because first of all, it's a year for the girls between Barbie, the Eras Tour, and now this movie. It's a year for the girls. Secondly, she is saving the theaters. AMC is, they were losing out so much money, and Barbie and like this, you're saving them because whatever. 2, the strike. She got around the strike. So it's also saving people's jobs because there's some that can't be released because of the strike. So this, because it's not actors, there aren't writers for the movie, it's just a concert movie. This is like SAG accepted this and said, yes, you could push this forward. So it's actually also supportive of the strike because it's like, hey, we're still supporting movie theaters because movie theaters didn't do anything wrong. It is the a-hole production company, whoever
we're also
workers
avoiding. Yeah.
Not only did she do it for her own gain, but she's also like supporting so many other things within it. and of course we know the Eras Tour is like boosting the economy everywhere it goes. And then I had this thought, like, just, it's a really crazy thought, but like, just like hear me out. Like, let me know what you think. How much power can a person hold economically, worldly, politically, without at all being in politics? Because I feel like Taylor Swift, people, mayors, governors, prime ministers, presidents of other countries are like begging Taylor Swift to come because it's boosting their economy just by her doing something simple. Then you have the $100,000 trucker tips that she's doing.
Yeah.
Right.
She bought out the hotel in Mexico for all of her. Yeah.
So she's like boosting, but something as simple as, hey, I'm going to drop this movie is now boosting that industry. So she really wanted to, like, could she like potentially hold a lot of like power without actually being in politics, just by saying, hey, I'm going to, like, I can't think of another example, but like, I'm just so curious.
Well, I mean, one thing I would think of is like, imagine if, I don't know what kind of retail like store in the mall is doing bad.
Right.
But imagine if she was just like, hey, I want to exclusively sell apparel in your store.
Right.
Saved.
Yeah. For however
like, so, but it is so interesting because like nobody has that level of like, oh, well, I shouldn't say nobody, but like actors, like we said before, like can't have that level of influence because I don't like you kind of like them from the stuff they do, maybe not necessarily because of, well, you like their craft, but their craft isn't like their own.
Right.
Yeah. Like,
it's somebody like, else's work and they're acting it out.
Right. And like, I don't know many actors that like a lot of them get into directing or maybe producing and stuff, but like, I don't know many of them that are like, I'm going to write a movie, act in it, produce it, direct it. Like, I'm going to do this all on my own. And obviously like being a musician is different because obviously you get to a level of fame because of your talent. And that's obviously why she's where she is. But it's so weird because then you can just skyrocket to such a different level because it's just you. It's you being you. It's your, like, I don't know. It is crazy. I don't know many other people I'd compare it to because, I mean, Beyonce?
Yeah. But she is like in private and doesn't give as much to the, like, she definitely probably absolutely could have that. And she's definitely boosting the economy probably wherever she goes to. Right. But like, she's not as,
Beyonce's, Beyonce doesn't have as much of the, I guess sometimes, well, she does have crazy fans. I shouldn't say she doesn't have as much of the crazy whatever as Taylor Swift fans are, but like, I don't know if Beyonce's music feels as personal. And I could be totally wrong about this. I don't really listen to Beyonce. So like, besides like obviously her hits and stuff like that, but like I don't necessarily know if like does she write her own songs?
I think she used to not, and that's when it was more geared towards us, like single ladies, all that stuff. And then she was like, no,
yeah,
I want to have my own control over what I want to put out. She last album had 104 songwriters because that was one of like the digs, which is fine, who cares? But I think it is very much in her control of like, I want a song about this. So her stuff now, again, I love Beyonce, but it is like her more recent albums, like I've seen this all across, like it's very much not our demographic that she is putting music out for. So I think it is, but it's not lyrically personal, but I think it is still personal to people. Does that make sense?
So I think that's what I think maybe the lyrically is more what I think about with why maybe Taylor Swift will still get more of a bump maybe than Beyonce. And obviously Beyonce is out selling her tour. So like I could be totally off base here, but like it feels like Taylor Swift's fan connection is because of the words she writes feeling personal to the people.
Right.
And then like you feeling connected to her, or like you know her because of that, which is a parasocial relationship that tends to lead to bad things or bad behavior from fans too. But like, I think that's part of the reason that people just get such an attachment to her because you feel like you know her
and
more personally.
Absolutely. And she's kind of choosing to use that for good,
right?
By helping so many people out. And I do think people feel that way about Beyonce, but you're right. It's obviously lyrically, it's not in the same way. But I also think Beyonce herself like could be like that, but I think she's more so like, I have my life and I'm going to be private. And that's what she does. She'll drop an album and then just disappear. And now she's going on tour and then she's probably going to disappear again. So I think touring and being in the spotlight for her is more like, hey, this is how I'm getting my money. This is my check. I'm doing this because it's what makes sense, as opposed to Taylor Swift like loving the spotlight and like, yes, the tour is for everybody else and she's making money, but she's also, that is her mind at work, her creativity at work. And that's like, that's her passion. Like that's just like her creative like outlet is putting all this together. Where I think for Beyonce, it's more like, this is my money making, but I like being private and being at home and like closing off. So I don't think Beyonce stepped into that territory that Taylor Swift has, because I think she chooses not to. And then on top of the lyrically.
Yeah. And also like, obviously I think this could totally be a generational thing as well, because part of the reason I love Taylor Swift is because I grew up with her.
Right.
Like Beyonce was obviously around, but she was a little already like when Beyonce, like 3LW, was that what it was?
Destiny's Child.
Like Destiny's Child was already like the music when it was coming out, I was too young for it.
Right.
So like I've always, I feel like been like farther apart from Beyonce's, like what Beyonce was going through.
Yes.
Than what Taylor Swift was going through.
You're absolutely right. And to add to that, I had people ask me the other day, again, I feel like I'm always in this conversation. I was with the same people, like, please, like, I don't get it. Like, I'm not trying to say anything mean, but like, please explain to me the obsession over Taylor Swift. So I said my personal take, but I was like, but this is why I think she's so humongous. And it's almost exactly your point is like, yeah, Beyonce's been around longer than Taylor Swift, first of all, and has all that catalog and whatever. But when Taylor Swift came out with her first stuff, she was 13, 14, writing through the experience and the lens of a 13 to 14-year-old girl, not pop hits, not this, not that, doing that. So when we were 13, 14, whatever, then we were 15, 16, again, 18, 19, another album. And then her, as she matured, we matured. So we look back on those albums and either still relate to them or nostalgic. Plus, now she keeps coming out with more stuff. So you're not losing fans. Not only you're not losing fans, but people who are now 11, 12, 13 can still be in love with Taylor Swift because there's music that they could still listen to and relate to. So there is no age for Taylor Swift fans. You can be any age and enjoy her stuff. And then the re-release of the old albums is also getting younger fans as well. Whereas I don't even like that we're comparing it to Beyonce.
I know.
Because I love Beyonce. And
and this whole thing only started, the comparisons only started because we said the only other person that maybe is at the same level as Beyonce. Yeah. So.
But yes, but I think
it's a like good comparison, but I know.
Right. But Beyonce fans are always going to be a little bit older because even when she was younger, her music was still for older. So there's no like nostalgia, whatever. But Beyonce is obviously like, they're not comparable. They're both amazing, but it's just obviously like whatever.
She's the closest person you could compare Taylor Swift's fame to.
Right. World tour.
It's weird. Taylor Swift's fame is weird. I don't understand.
I know. I love it because it's like, yeah, everybody, we've been saying this for so long, but I'm like, all right, we've been saying
I don't want it to become too much where it's like, oh, we hate her again. Yeah. And not we, but you know, general.
Just, like everybody else, Taylor says, you're so basic for that. And it's like, I'm sorry. We've been here for a while. Yeah. I'm not just hopping on a trend. Like, I swear to God.
Exactly.
It's just always been a thing. But
yeah, I can't wait to watch.
I'm so excited to watch it. I did also, they put some of the tour stuff online, like the merch that they have left over from the US Lag Tour. So I got the black hoodie and only God knows when it's going to come in because her website is horrible with merch.
Yeah.
It takes forever to do anything, but I'm hoping that it comes in time so I can wear it to the movie.
Yeah. I'm going to have to look at that tour stuff. I didn't realize that went up.
Yeah, I don't know. It was while supplies last. So people said it was just since this leg tour's over, it's whatever they have left over, and then they're gonna do other stuff for international. But I'm not positive about that fact, if or if that's a fact or not. I just think I don't have a thought. I don't know.
I know. I mean, I feel like it's just an exciting time. I can't wait. And we'll probably maybe like, when's the next episode we'll record? Should we do one?
If we can do a pre 1989, like, what's your rank?
Maybe we should do, maybe we should do a episode post movie pre 1989.
Yes, that would be a good idea. In between.
So that's like a month away.
It is. And you got like a big month ahead of you with like getting married.
Yeah, no, I'm like pretty much gone the rest of September. So
yeah. And not obviously.
Yeah, for different reasons. But yeah.
Yes, I'm in the middle of moving out. I'm going to do it this weekend. Then I have to go to Alabama for another wedding, and then I'm moving out again. Like, it's just
a lot.
It's a wild time over here.
Mm-hmm.
And I just can't wait for like what's to come.
I know.
There's like so much to look forward to in life right now. And it's just
there really is. What a good vibe we've got going in life right now.
And a lot of it, like, thank you, Taylor Swift, for that.
A lot of it. Yeah. A lot of it.
She just keeps giving and giving and giving and giving. And there's been like rumors that she's working on new music already.
God, I hope so. Well, to be fair,
studio every day. And also she left the studio with Bad Bunny yesterday. I don't not something I'd be interested in.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, it's been a year since Midnight, so typically we're less than a year away or a year away from another album, a new album, I should say.
That would be insanity.
If she gets back to her normal schedule, you know.
Every 2 years.
Because she did from Evermore to Midnights.
Yeah. And it would be her.
Or was that 2020? Yeah, 2020 to 2022. Yeah.
I will literally fall on the floor and die because I don't even know if I could process that with how much we've been given.
I know.
Oh my God. But yeah, I think that's it for this
episode. I think we're there. So everybody, you know, like, subscribe, all the things you can find us on. They're in the description. And
a happy almost wedding, Steph.
Thank you so much. The next time we chat with everyone, I will be.
Oh my God. That just reminded me. Wife. I'm literally 3 different times I wrote like, congrats to O'Connors.
Oh my God.
I can't say that. It's not their last name. I can't.
Not our last name.
Literally, it just falls out. Like,
I get it.
I accidentally say it. But
that would be really funny.
Yeah, but no, I probably won't because I'll have it written down. And I will be from it because I'm just like, that's just who I am. But it might say it on accident. Anyway.
We'll find out. Okay.
You guys.
Everybody, you go.
You guys can pick your stuff back up because
we are dropping our mics
now.